Ladies and gentlemen, if back when you were a kid your folks told you to stay close to them and not get lost when you went out, they had a pretty good reason for it. This guy here, who goes by the name Richard Huckle, is a volunteer Sunday school teacher and freelance photographer who came to Kuala Lumpur about 10 years ago. So yeah, nothing suspicious here. White man, brown hair, expensive camera, business as usual. And so it was for him up until he pleaded guilty yesterday to 71 charges of child sexual abuse at the Central Criminal Court of England and Wales. Yeah, 71. You think that's crazy? He's facing 91 charges in total, pertaining to 23 children. Apparently, it took over an hour just to read all the charges brought against him at the hearing. Now let's kick this up a notch. Huckle's victims mainly consisted of children from the slums and the poor parts of Kuala Lumpur, some of whom, when speaking to the BBC on condition of anonymity, were abused by him since they were just 6 months old. Some of them were too young to understand what was happening because this Sunday school teacher was apparently grooming them. Oh, and did I mention that he's a writer too? Yeah, apparently he's the author of the 60-page manual titled Pedophiles and Poverty, Child Love Guide. Sunday school teacher my foot. Oh, and by the way, I wasn't finished. If you're already up to here with disgust, then let me give you a trigger warning. So how did this guy get caught? Well, that's what makes this story take an even darker turn. Remember I said that he's a photographer? Well, that camera was used by him to take nude and obscene pictures with his victims. When he was caught at the Gatwick Airport in December 2 years ago, investigators discovered some 20,000 indecent images and videos on his computer. So you would think that it would probably be awkward and pretty much outrageously stupid to take a selfie while committing a crime, but things are about to get even darker, and that's what led to him getting caught. He had posted these photographs and videos on the internet. So now you may ask, if it was all over the internet, how did this guy not get caught sooner? Well, I mean, it's the internet. You can't hide on the internet. Or can you? Sit down. It's time for a little lesson on the lesser-known part of the internet you may not know about. Typically, your Streamix, Unify, or whatever internet oligopoly you subscribe to would become your gateway to the World Wide Web, where websites are graphical interfaces to machines across the planet, mapped to internet protocols or IP addresses. A domain name system, also called a DNS, is a decentralized directory telling your computer which machine to connect to and where it is. However, not everything is on this directory, even though they're connected to the internet. Just like how there are phone numbers that are not in your yellow pages. To get to these, your computer needs to look at a different directory, and since this directory isn't as published and available as the yellow pages, it often has the numbers of people you're not supposed to be talking to. Hence, this part of the internet, known as the dark web, is home to many black market dealers, illegal gambling sites, and yep, you guessed it, hardcore child pornography. Now, our boy isn't stupid. He took the necessary precautions when putting his stuff up, such as encrypting his data and hiding his tracks. I mean, come on, he did this for years without getting caught. And indeed, he was good at it. So where was the weakest link? It turns out that a man named Shannon McCool from Australia was busted by the police for running one of these child porno sites on the deep web. Once again, if you're on the deep web consciously doing illegal stuff, you should watch your back. So what happened to this guy? It boiled down to the way he said hello. On his website, he greeted people by saying Hias. Hias, H-I-Y-A-S. Who says that, right? Well, if that's what you're thinking, that's also what the Anti-Online Child Exploitation Unit of the Queensland Police, called Task Force Argos, picked up on. Eventually, they found a fake Facebook page where the same greeting was being used. So, in one of McCool's usual fake Facebook account posts, the police found a photo with a car registration number on it. Acting on a hunch, they traced the car plate to its owner and paid him a visit. You know, the kind of visit where the police don't know where the doorbell is? Yeah, when they broke through the door, lo and behold, they found McCool on his computer running the very same business they suspected he was behind. So how did this lead to Huckle's eventual arrest? The police, who were then in front of his computer, which was already all logged in, decided to dig into the site's database, where they took an interest into this one user who seemed to have what they call an aggressive attitude on top of access to a lot of children. Eventually, by piecing together the pictures uploaded by Huckle, they noticed a distinguishing freckle on his finger. By cross-referencing this to the many pictures and selfies and other nonsense we upload to our usual social media sites every day, which was also being used by Huckle, the police found a match for that one tiny freckle on his finger. With that, they tipped off the National Crime Agency in Britain, and the rest is history. Today, PKR issued a statement on the matter, asking if the police and Putrajaya did anything when the case was brought to their attention. Remember, Huckle was arrested in 2014. Huckle's detention at the airport was when he was headed home from Kuala Lumpur for Christmas. By then, the UK's National Crime Agency had already been tipped off about him. And according to the statement, the NCA did contact Malaysian authorities about the matter. But the most scathing part of PKR's reply was, why was he allowed to leave the country when the Immigration Director General proudly said yesterday that he had absolute discretion about who gets to leave the country and who doesn't. PKR also demands to know why he was not caught sooner and whether the authorities are doing anything about this to prevent further cases. And that wraps up this crazy fact sheet. Go get yourself a drink. I don't blame you. That was really heavy. When you're back, hit up the comments and tell me how you feel about this. Before I go, all of us here in the KiniTV team would like to express our sincerest condolences to the family of Deputy Prime Minister Ahmad Zahid Hamidi's son-in-law, the late Syed Alman Zain Syed Alwi, who passed away yesterday evening. May you rest in peace. As always, hit like, subscribe and share this video. I'm Daniel Anthony. Thanks for watching.